Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to baseball here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. I'm Sean. We're back inside MLB 11, the show, after taking a brief detour to play MLB The Show 25 today. We have 4 games of action for you today. 3 of them are wheel spin games. I was kind of curious about one. We actually got kind of an interesting storyline between a couple of them. Weirdly enough, we got all the games are in like the top 4 or 5 of the scheduled day. We'll be checking out the Cubs playing the Mets. The Giants are playing the Astros. The White Sox take on the Royals. And the Tigers play the Red Sox. Let's set up with a couple of storylines here as we jump into the standings. In the American League here, we're going to watch both the Red Sox and the White Sox and the Orioles. So all 3, excuse me. They are all within 3.5 games of each other. Cleveland's kind of mashed in between the two of them. The best that the Orioles are going to be able to do is just drag the White Sox back to them, but that might not be enough because they need the Athletics to stumble as well. Red Sox have an opportunity if the White Sox lose to gain a game on them. They also need the Athletics to lose as well. Flipping over to the National League wild card race, the New York Mets are a game and a half out of a wild card spot, which is absolutely wild considering the fact that they started this season 0-6. We have 4 teams log-jammed at 38 wins: Padres, Astros, Mets, and Marlins. The Mets play the Cubs, who are out of it, so they need a win. They need the Braves and the Rockies to stumble in front of them, which doesn't feel too out of the ordinary. The Astros are in kind of the same boat. They're a half game further back at 2 games back. They would need that Rockies-Braves. They could take advantage of a Mets loss as well. So, thankfully, the wild card stuff is getting kind of interesting because it looked like it was going to be not so interesting as we wound down. We'll start with the Mubs and the the Cubs and the Mets as we head to New York. Welcome on in, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. MLB 11, the show. That's what we are playing. Welcome in. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Hopefully, you enjoy today's stream. If you didn't already, we did play MLB The Show 25 today. And then I watched the Mariners-Padres spring training game and ripped a bunch of packs. So, had a good time with that. All you have to do is go in, watch the stream, sync up, which at no point do I give you any help, sync up the replay of the game with where I am, and then go from there. Cubs are 34-39. Mets are 38-35 as we get things underway. Yeah, spring training, but good win for the Mariners today. I thought so. I totally agree with you. Michael Bourne is going to lead off for the Cubs. He is the center fielder, followed by Martin Prado in left. Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop. J.D. Drew in right. Josh Tolle. Jeez Louise. Is the catcher. Derek Barton at first. Travis Ishikawa is the DH. Willie Bloomquist at third. Ricky Weeks at second. What I liked about the Mariners' victory today was where the victory came from, the players that were able to get the Mariners on the board. It wasn't your usual suspects. Chris Middleton, Medlin, goodness gracious, I can't talk. 7-5 at 2.20 ERA, 14 games, 45 innings, 34-16, 16-32 hits, walks, and strikeouts. There was the 2-run home run was awesome. They had a nice response inning after giving up 2 in the top half of whatever inning that was, and then they piled on a couple more runs late. So, yeah, I thought it was a good win. Who was it? Luzardo Montes, is that his name? He had a hit off Mason Miller, which was kind of cool, or pretty cool, not kind of cool, pretty cool. Hope springs eternal, baby. 162-0. Here we go. And this was kind of the camera angle for the spring training game. 0-1. It's a little weird watching because it was the. Maybe I set the audio settings incorrectly, but I had the radio broadcast over the TV, like the TV broadcast, which was interesting. But like the Twins, I clicked into that because they're playing like an exhibition game against the Golden Gophers of the Big Ten. But they had like an actual television broadcast. It didn't seem like the Mariners had that just yet. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is, ooh, just outside. Misses that low outside corner for a ball. 1-2 the count. 2-2. Wind and the pitch, and he fouls that off. Terrible. I can't believe the New York Mets are in contention for a playoff spot. And that misses low. Full count to Michael Bourne, Jason Bourne's brother. The wind and the pitch. Fouled away. We'll do it again. That's fair. Why is this drink so warm? PlayStation, are you warm? That's outside for a ball. So the Cubs get their leadoff hitter aboard. Martin Prado. He'll be next to bat. Looking for that double play action after issuing the walk. Thought about it, but got the strike on the outside corner. Didn't matter. I think the thing that was the most interesting was watching the challenge system. Padres went 2 for 2. Mariners went 0 for 1. But once we got through those first couple innings, once the Mariners had that 3-0 lead, as that is absolutely crushed deep left field. It is going. It is gone. 2-run home run for the Cubs, and they immediately make him pay for the walk. But once the lead was established at 3 for the Mariners, it was nobody challenged anything. 2 calls went against Cal Raleigh, both on the Mariners defensive side and the Mariners offensive side. He missed a pretty bad ball. Raleigh did, and then he got a strike overturned while he was at bat to overturn it from a 2-strike count to a strikeout. I don't think there are any games happening now. I saw a little bit. That's going to be laced out to left field. That's into second to hold the runner to a single. I was going to trick the score. So I don't think they're... Yeah, nothing else is going on. Is there more going on, like, late tomorrow? Oh, the Mariners. Nothing to be sorry about. Oh my god. There we go. Being... Okay, sorry. The beep's trying to bring home food, which I appreciate, but I'll be here streaming for 2.5 hours. It's like, I don't need you to bring home food that I'm not going to touch for a while. 3-1. Nobody out. I feel like I jinxed the Mets. That's fouled away. I'd be curious. I don't know what kind of other... I don't know what other games had challenges, but I'd be curious to see what the success failure rate was today. We saw 2 for 3 in Seattle, San Diego. I don't know about anything else. There were 2 teams, the Red Sox and the Twins, both played like college teams, so that throws a wrench in things as well. The wind and the pitch is in for a strike. I wonder if that Mariners game is on tomorrow. Granted, I'll be going to do stuff, but... And nothing is later than 12. Okay. He's safe. So I'd assume that most of those two, they're all the stadiums for spring training, just don't have lights. No, because it gets dark. That's a silly thought. One. Yeah, whatever. That's rolled. Third baseman got a really bad dive at that. And it'll be a single. So there's college basketball on all day tomorrow. Gonzaga playing Pacific. Iowa State's playing BYU. All right. 2 on, nobody out in a 2-0 game as that is crushed out towards center field. And the center fielder makes the catch. Second base runner will slide into third safely. Turns out I did actually unlock 2 achievements, by the way, in the Xbox version of the game that I was playing. I mentioned that earlier. It's like, how did I not unlock any achievements? No, it turns out I did. It just didn't show on screen. Cool. The righty will wind and fire. That's lifted out towards center field, and that is out number 3. So the Mets do a good job to at least minimize the damage. They manage the damage, I guess. 2 runs on 3 hits. It's the 2-run home run that does it. They pick up 2 other hits that they don't do anything with. A walk and then the home run. They strand a couple. New York Mets are going to be having Joe Mather lead things off. He is in center field. Yulineski Betancourt is the shortstop, followed by Pablo Sandoval at third. Aubrey Huff is at first. Hunter Pence in right. Connor Jackson in left. Dustin Pedroia at second. Ramon Castro is the catcher, and Ramon Santiago is the designated hitter. Ramon Santiago is normally the shortstop, so I wonder if there's a lefty pitcher. First night game for Seattle is Friday against Arizona. Perfect. Chris Capuano is 6-6 with a 4.81 ERA. 14 games, 39.1 innings pitched. 41, 14, 22 hits, walks, and strikeouts. So this lineup for the Mets is a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, particularly with the Ramones at the bottom. Were the Mets one of the teams that had an injury at third base? We had like 3 days in a row where there was an injury. There was even one game where the pitch hadn't even been thrown and someone got substituted. It was very weird. The lefty winds and fires. Swung on and missed. 6:30 start, so during next week's stream. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll commentate this and have that on at the same time. We'll multitask. Talking to some people at the comedy show last night, being like, I do 9 things at once. I was like, okay, I do as well. And then I realized I was doing that today as I was setting stuff up. I'm like, looking at 4 things. I'm not getting anything done in a timely manner. I'm driving myself nuts. We can play the game, what finishes first? MLB 11 the show or a real MLB game? It'll be the real MLB game because typically this goes longer than 2.5 hours. Which is, I think, about how long that game was today. Just going to pull up the score here. You have a game time for me? Yeah, 2:49. Oh, that's actually closer than you might anticipate. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Yunieski. I always want to put an L. Yunieski. There we go. No L. Just cut the L out. That'll be a 1-pitch, 1-swing single out into center field. Mets looking to strike back. They're only down 2. None of the team logos loaded. This game is falling apart. Pablo Sandoval, he's batting .214, 4 home runs. Hey, good time to add one. Actually, you know what? Why don't you get on base and then the next guy can have it? Actually, you get on base, the next guy gets out, and then Hunter Pence can have it. The lefty winds and fires. That's in for a strike. That is low for a ball. If the Mets are going to get a home run, please swing the lead in your favor, because this game has a tendency to just go like, okay, now we're deadlocked at 2 for 30. 30 innings is too dramatic. We're locked at 2 for the next 6 innings. Ruining everybody's life. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. Two and two. 1 on, 1 gone, and that is going to be rolled past the diving third baseman. It'll just advance the lead runner to second. I don't know how he dove that poorly. Oh, I get that. Okay. I'm pretty sure I spelled that name wrong, but that's okay. Huff goes deep, but it's foul. Wait, sorry. Foul ball. Shout out to that plate in the background. Taken off. If you look to your left, you'll see the Mets losing 2-0 to the Chicago Cubs. Huff fouls that one away for a strike. Am I quickly 0-2? Or just 0-2 in general? No, it's 1-2. With 1 gone. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. Looks like it's just outside for a ball. Well, it is outside. It is a ball. It's called a ball because it's 2-2. There were 2 strikes. Sean, get it together. Here's the wind of the pitch. It's lifted into left field. That's going to plate a run. Sandoval will go at least to third. There's not much chance they send him home. No, they will hold him, and Huff will slide into second. 4 night games in the spring this year? Okay. Lefty winds and fires. That's swung on and missed. Oh, and 1. Wind and the pitch is hit. Oh, what? That's going to plate 1. That's going to plate 2. It's a 2 RBI single. Did that not go like right through him? Hold on. Hold on. Connor Jackson bats .293 this season. 4 home runs, 22 RBI. We're taking a look here. Okay. It did not go right through him like I thought it did. However, he just runs right past it. That should have been out number 2. This game's the best. It is the best video game ever made. I can't believe how broken it is. That's going to be rolled to third base. Throw to second for 1, to first for 2. The double play ends the inning, but not before. The Mets pick up 3 runs on 4 hits. It'll be Bloomquist, Weeks, and Bourne coming up for the Cubs. Fun first inning. Don't expect it to like replicate that at all. Prepare to just sit there and go like, okay. And that the first inning decided this game. He's batting .419. Oh, the righty shakes off his catcher. You don't like seeing that. The wind and the pitch is low for a ball. 1-0. Well, I guess we could. And that's low. Two and 0. The righty readies and fires. That is past a diving third baseman. This game is not made for an 82 game season. Could you imagine if we were playing 162? This game is just, I keep mentioning it, it's held by duct tape and dreams. That's what it's held together by. We're going to sell 150,000 copies of it, and no one's going to have a good time. The righty is ready. Winds and fires. Low for a ball. Like, I genuinely don't think you could... I don't think you could score this, like, any higher than, like, a 6. That is in for a strike. I mean, it's kind of malleable, but it doesn't change its logic when you switch the innings. I don't think any of the MLB The Show games do that, though. Oh, they're putting a runner in motion. This one's lifted out towards right field. The runner's going to have to turn back as the catch is made by Hunter Pence in right field. And a rocket arm in. That odd little kind of out. And that's a weirdly common thing. It's in Baltimore, it's now in Texas, and it's out in New York as well. Unless they fix the walls out there in right field, and I know that they tinker with Baltimore every year. They haven't really messed with the one in Texas, but just a weird thing where it's like we're going to have a super flat wall, except for this one part's going to just jut back like 10 feet and then go across, but we're also going to put the wall way up. It's like, this is all, it looks stupid. Looks dumb. The only place it looks good is, like, Boston. That's fouled away. Just part of a wall that's, like, way higher than any other part. So you're trying to wedge a baseball stadium into a very limited space. 1 and 2. That is low to make it 2 and 2. Runner on first for the Cubs. Looking to get the run back that they trail by. It's a 2-2 count. Mets looking for a double play to get out of it. It's going to get past the catcher, and that erases the double play. On cue. Like the game can hear me. That is outside for a ball. So it didn't matter. They were going to put a runner on second regardless. Oh, that's going to be to the shortstop, to second for 1. Over to first for 2. The double play ends the inning and kills the threat of the Cubs. Okay, can you learn how to spell? Dustin Pedroia leading off the bottom of the second here. Here's the wind of the pitch. It is low for a ball. Okay, so hopefully running that. Okay, I think I figured out the problem with the stream earlier. We're all good now. Lefty winds and fires. That's upstairs for a ball. Mets looking for a little insurance here in the bottom of the second. Give them a bit of a cushion before we head to the top of the third. Because that's how numbers work, folks. The lefty is ready. That's fouled away. Foul ball. 2-1. Pedroia lifts this toward the left center gap, and it is going to be caught by the center fielder. See if Chicago can hold this to just a one-run lead. Ramon Castro, batting .293. He has 3 home runs, 11 RBI. No stolen bases on the year yet. Three and two. That is, that's in for a strike, I guess. Looked like it was on the line for the right-handed batter's box. Lefty steps into it and fires. That is sliced foul. Oh and 2. That misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 gone here in the bottom of the second. And, speaking of things that are happening next week we'll have March Mascot Madness tipping off. Fill out your brackets now if you haven't already. If you have, thanks. And that's smashed foul again. Yo, how's it going? Going well. How are you doing? Good to see you. Walk off. Lefty pitches. This one's crushed out towards center field. Center fielder makes the reaching grab. Born all over the place today. Ramon Santiago batting .239. Couple decent pieces of contact for the Mets, but they just can't get it away from the defenders in this inning. Bouncing around to the MLB The Show games today. 1-0. Lefty fires that one low. 2-0. And 2-1. That's going to get through. I guess it was a 2-0 pitch. Excuse me. It was driven into right field. Bring up Joe Mather. Mather? Mather. A little harder on the A. Like Mather or Meh. Good noise is excellent, Sean. Well, that's low for a ball. That's outside for a ball. 2-0. Two outs, 1 on. Mets lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the second for those of you just joining us. Cubs got out to a 2-0 lead on a 2-run home run. They did strand a couple of runners on the base paths. And then the Mets were able to pick up 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Hunter Pence drove in a couple of runs to take the lead. Ooh. That was a strike. He's kicking himself like it was a Unieski Betancourt. 1-for-1. They walked him on that pitch. That was quite the replay for them to walk them on a pitch that they missed. That is in for a strike. Oh and 1. Ooh, that's a big swing. Saw some big swings from the Mariners late in the game against the Padres today. Oh and 2, and that's going to be popped into foul territory. Third baseman comes over to make the catch, and that will retire the side. I was about to say, one more run for the Mets could be huge here to really feel like it puts the game out of reach. Chicago's threatened a couple of times, but aside from the home run, they haven't been able to do anything, which sounds like, hey, Sean, like, no duh. But they also, the part of the reason that it was a 2-run home run was because there was a walk. So they've had some hits that they haven't been able to cash in for runs. It's something I struggled with earlier when we were playing as the Mariners, as that is in for a strike. We had 2 solo home runs today playing the Padres, and then nothing else. We had a bunch of hits, a couple of walks, put runners on bases and stuff, but just not consistently cashing that in. It doesn't have to be 100%. You don't have to score every single inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled over. Second baseman comes up with it and fires to first in time for out number 1. That'll bring up J.D. Drew, 0 for 1 today. He has a .311 average. Amber is the color of their energy. I think that's a .311 song. I only know .311 via not me. You just hear about it on shows or whatever. It's like a funhouse bit? A kind of funny bit? Who knows, you know? It was something I was thinking about the other day. God, what was it? I think I was having a conversation with a bee, but like, I don't even know the reference. I know it from this other thing. And she does the same thing with the Bring Out Your Dead from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. She only knows it from like a podcast. I'm like, I've tried to show her that movie. She does not enjoy. She does not like that movie at all. But that's okay. 1 and 2. Every once in a while, you show things to the people you love, and you go, I sure hope you enjoy this. And of all the things that I've ever been like, hey, this is like cool, funny, whatever, like, I don't think anything's ever lost her as quickly as Monty Python. The opening credits were just so confusing. It's its own sketch by itself. There's strike 3, by the way. More Monty Python reviews coming up later in the show. I had it right. Josh told it. No, I said it wrong about 4 times before. Never mind. Here's the wind of the pitch. That's upstairs for a ball. Oh, here's the wind and the pitch. That's hit out towards left field. Does the left fielder have it? He does. That will take care of the game. And the Mets, they score 3 in the first. This is kind of why you're happy that it wasn't just a 2-2 tie coming out of the bottom of the first inning. You want a team to be in the lead. That way we're not stuck in this game for 6 innings. Going just like, oh my goodness. We were spoiled with run support in the first inning and everybody forgot how to hit. I mean, if the Cubs had come back and tied it, yeah, sure, that's fine, but Mets pick up a win. That's a big win for them. Aubrey Huffster, player of the game, 1 for 1 with a double. He only had 1 RBI. I would argue that Hunter Pence should have probably been in that spot. He had 2 RBI. He had a single. But Chris Bedlin gets the win. He improves to 8-5. Chris Capuano. He falls to 6-7. It's Prado's 7th home run of the season. 3-2 your final. Mets, they pick up the win. They are a game and a half, but entering into today, they were a game and a half out of a wild card spot. They trailed the Braves, I believe the Marlins, and I forget. We'll probably get another screenshot that shows us. Yankees over the Royals, okay. All right, keep that in mind here because we're going to watch the White Sox coming up. Not next, but after. We're going to watch Giants Astros next. This is a big opportunity for the White Sox. They need to pick up a win here. The Royals are not out of it yet. Like, they're not clear. Oh, perfect. The National League wildcard standings. Rockies, Braves, the Mets pick up a half game because the Rockies and the Braves haven't played yet. And they gain a half game on the Marlins, who they were tied with going into today. They were a half game ahead of the Astros. So the Braves lose. The Rockies lose. Things start to get real interesting. White Sox need the Athletics to go down. Orioles need a win to kind of keep things going, but we're not focused on that. We're not focused on that right now. I am flubbing. We are focused on the San Francisco Giants taking on the Houston Astros here in Houston, with maybe the ugliest outfield feature in existence. That stupid pole. San Francisco leads off with catcher Russell Martin, followed by third baseman Ryan Zimmerman. Carl Crawford's in left. Nick Swisher is in right. Mitch Moreland at first. Nate McLouth is in center field. Mark Ellis at second. Edgar Renteria at shortstop. Chris D'Onofrio is at the DH spot. Kind of interesting to look at this lineup. It's chunk, basically. You have two righties, a batch of lefties, and three righties. It feels like a lineup where you would very easily write out how you want to how you want to work your bullpen. Hey, righties are going to face 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Lefties in that middle bit. Manuel Corpus, 3-3 with a 4.26 ERA, 19 games, 25.1 innings pitched, 27, 5, and 10 hits, walks, and strikeouts. We didn't really get to work with our bullpen today, as the Padres only had a few lefties in the lineup. So the one lefty I think we brought in for an out. Russell Martin's going to get things led off for the San Francisco Giants today. No way, don't give in now. Not a single pitch has been thrown. Here's the wind in the pitch. That somehow is not a strike. That was a pitch that was so bad it was good, but still got called like it was bad. Okay, off to a weird start already. 1-0. All right. Wind and the pitch is going to be rolled. Third baseman dives for it. Strong throw. Not in time. It's a good play. He actually made contact with the ball, which is a big change for some of the third basemen that we've seen recently. In particular, that I think the poor Orioles third baseman that played against the Athletics and just missed like 3 plays in the same inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. Oh, past the diving third baseman. We complimented him. He still made a good effort, okay? I know there aren't moral victories in sports, but we'll give him a little moral victory. San Francisco out to a hot start. Looking to just play spoiler. Maybe San Francisco hates Houston. They know Houston's kind of in the hunt. San Francisco, they're like, oh man, we're out of it. What if we just go ruin their lives? And you know what? For that, I applaud them. That could be our headcanon. That is in the left field. Oh no, he dove back to third because he thought it was going to get caught. And now he's going to hustle home. The relay throw saved him. This is not a stadium you can do that in. Oh my goodness. You know what? I tip my cap to you, San Francisco. You're making this dramatic. We respect that here. Coach, what if hear me out. What if against Houston, in a short left field, say, hey, I'm going to dive back to third and then head home. Just see if I can make it. Here's the 1-0. That is rolled over. Oh, to second for 1, over to first, not in time. I'm actually a little surprised that they went to second. Obviously, it's the correct call. Take a runner out of scoring position and at least try for the double play. But it seemed like they had their runners in motion early. Or they just got good jumps on it. But this San Francisco team is swinging and they're making contact. Runners back on the corners. One gone. And it's a smart play too because you still have the double play in order. Here's the wind of the pitch, and that is lifted well out to right field. Going. Goodbye. Goodbye, baseball. Oh, my goodness. 4-zip already. This game hates when it does not allow the other team, the defensive team, to turn a double play. It punishes them so badly. How dare you not be able to do what I don't allow you to do? How could you? So, the 1-0 pitch. Outside. And it's 2-0. Making sure that I didn't accidentally delete a message notification. 2-0. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. 3-0. Here's the wind and the pitch is in for a strike at the knees. 3-1. I mean, hey, it's a hands-off controller. Let it be a strike. If it's going to be a strike, might walk you. Now things flip. How aggressive? Will the batter be on a 3-1? Pretty aggressive, and it will benefit him because it'll get into center field. We haven't watched every game in Houston, obviously, but we haven't seen that center field situation come into effect yet, or come into play. Which I would like to see it come into play. I'd like it to affect something. Mark Ellis. He's batting .221. 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 5 stolen bases. The righty is ready. Runner on first. Just 1 out. San Francisco leads 4-0. The runner is trying to steal, and he will be out at second base. If he goes in hand first, he probably gets there, but that feet first slide really... They keep their legs so far, like, tucked back. Stick one out. You're trying to get to the base. So San Francisco gets kind of an uninspiring out number 2. I'm not wildly thrilled that they tried to steal with a 4-run lead. It just feels like you're giving Houston momentum if you fail, and you don't really need to give that to them. And that'll be rolled over. So San Francisco, hey, they come up with 4. One of them was dramatic, which we appreciate. We applaud. 4 runs on 5 hits. We'll get you introduced to the Houston lineup right now. Sean Figgins, he'll lead things off. He is the third baseman, switch hitting third baseman. Kosuke Fukudome is the DH, followed by Matt Holliday. He is in left. Carlos Quinton is in right. Billy Butler is at first. Colby Erasmus in center. Omar Infante at second. John Hester is the catcher. Marco Scudero is the shortstop. Brandon Morrow, 4-7 with a 5.25 ERA. 14 games, 36 innings, 44, 25, 35, I believe, on the strikeouts. Hits, walks, and strikeouts. It is indeed. Oh, man, we needed him to get 1 more hit, so he had 45 hits, 25 walks, 35 strikeouts. Everything ending in 5. That's like the Xbox Gamer Score portion of my brain kicking in, going, it's not even. Why would you put a 13 Gamer Score achievement in here? Here's the wind and the pitch, and he thought about bunting, but pulls it back. Pitch drifts inside for a ball, 1-0. Couple of fast starts for the away teams. We've had days like this before, where the away teams. We watched the Mariners and Rays, I want to say, where it's just like, man, there's a lot of the away teams are getting out to like 3-run leads or more. So far, the Cubs, excuse me, they scored 2 in the first. San Francisco scored 4 in the first, putting the home team at an immediate deficit. Could rank all 30 teams of how likely I would want them, or how badly I would want them in the playoffs. Kansas City and Boston would be toward the bottom of that list. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside. So Figgins on board with a leadoff walk. That'll bring up Fukudome. You know what? I want to learn about Kosuke Fukudome. Let's learn. Well, I don't need a jersey. Fukudome played for... Ooh, he didn't play much. Well, I shouldn't say that. Japanese professional baseball player. He did not play much in the MLB. Swung on and missed. You know what? I was hoping this was going to be a happier story. If I'm being honest. He had 42 home runs. He batted 195 runs in. He played for the Cubs, Cleveland, the other Chicago, and then went back. So he played from 08 to 12. And he was an All-Star in 2008, so good for him. And a 2-time World Baseball Classic champion. So maybe it is a good story. Maybe not all measures of success need to be measured by American sports standards. I hope he had fun. I hope he made some money. I hope he's living well. And being like a cool dude, you know what I mean? Like, don't be the piece of garbage. In the NPB, it looked like he played. It's outside. I mean, obviously, something caught the Americans' attention. Let's see. In the NPB, he was the Central League MVP in 2006. He was a batting champion in 2002 and 2006. The Best 9 award. 4 times. That's right back up the middle. So Figgins will score on the single. 5-time Golden Glove. And then twice he hit for the cycle. That's a weird stat to put in, like awards. He won the batting title and he hit for the cycle twice. Okay. Is the Best 9 award. The Best 9 award is an annual Nippon professional baseball NPB honor bestowed Sean, you already can't talk. Why are you trying to read? Bestowed upon the best players across the Central League and Pacific League at each position during the season, as determined by a pool of journalists, 1 player from each position, plus 1 for the designated hitter in the Pacific League since 1975 is selected for the honor. Wait, do they have the DH, no DH? Central League plans to utilize the designated hitter starting in the 2027 season, which may possibly mean that they amend the Best 9 award to accommodate for the best player at the DH position, just like the Pacific League does. Why? Baseball, why? Why are you so stuck? That's rolled foul. So it started when? The Pacific League was founded in 1949. Oh, they both were founded in 1949. Okay. Now we're learning about the MPB. Most recent champions, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Okay. All right. SoftBank is, I'm sure, founded since 1993. As that is lifted, and that is... Oh, that is gone. Oh, that's like way gone. My bad. That's on the train tracks. Oh, God, that stupid train. Houston's back in it. 4-3. If only I were watching. That'd be cool. We're going to learn more about the MPB. Trying to figure out Electric Railway Company. The best 9 is like all NBA team, first team honors. Okay. 2005. Huh. Okay. Oh, do they, wait, hold on. Do they really put them on YouTube? Hold on. Oh, hold on. Hold the phone. Oh, that doesn't give me a link. Anyway. Let's lock back in here. San Francisco scored 4 in the top of the first. Houston has responded with 3 in the bottom of the first. But this one is skied to the shortstop for the out, and that will retire the side. So they let it get close, but they don't let Houston tie or overtake. Renteria, D'Onofrio, and Martin coming up for the Giants. Edgar Renteria is batting .258, no home runs, 8 RBI, and a stolen base. See if San Francisco can get any of these runs back. Ooh, I thought maybe they would try. Well, I mean, they tried, but thought maybe that would work. That was a real early foul ball. That was way up there. Here's the line and the pitch. It is in for a strike. Oh and 2. Houston could use a shutdown inning, give themselves an opportunity, and that's a good start. A strikeout on the outside, swung on and missed. Chris D'Onofrio, batting .317. He has no home runs, 6 RBI, no stolen bases. So now we're going to see if what happened in the first game remains true here in the second game. Everybody scored their runs in that first inning, and then nothing in innings 2 or 3. One and 0. Here's the wind and the pitch, and he'll take it outside for a ball. 2-0. The 2-0. Ooh, that's hit nicely into right field. That's going to get all the way to the wall. He's going to hit first and head for second. The throw is up from right field, and it'll be a stand-up double. Okay, that's how you start to respond, San Francisco. You just gave up 3 runs over a leaping first baseman. Russell Martin's 1 for 1 with a single and a run. See if he can drive in the run from second. That's outside again. This righty pitcher has been throwing it out that way all inning long so far. San Francisco would be wise to just kind of let that first pitch go. Seems like anything that's starting middle or outside just keeps going that way. He's not able to play the edge of the zone. That one misses high for a ball, 2-0. The righty lets it go, and that's low for a ball. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Oh, he's going to crush that out towards right field. It is caught. The right fielder throws it in. It's relayed, and he is safe at third. So at least advances the runner. A little surprising to see a 3-0 swing. I didn't really clock it, because usually it's the 3-0 hands up, paper. Hands off the controller 3-0 pitch, but got aggressive. At least advanced the runner. It is out number 2, though. I think that could be the problem. I muted myself by pushing the spacebar on accident. So Zimmerman steps up, looking to drive in another run. Here's the wind and the pitch. Oh, and he's going to get it. That is a through into right field. It looked like his swing was almost a little broken on that one. As that pitch comes in, and he just kind of looked like he froze and then went through with it. I don't know if it was the same on the previous pitches, but he's able to drive that into right field and push a run across. Carl Crawford, he has a single and an RBI. So they get one of those 3 runs back, push it back to a 2-0 lead. And immediately my theory is disrupted. Previous game, they scored all their runs in the first inning. Was curious if that was going to be true in the second game. No. San Francisco is able to add to their lead. Or I guess just kind of run total. They haven't add. Technically, yes, but also kind of no. 0-2. 2 outs. Runner on first. The wind and the pitch is in for a ball. I don't know why I delayed on that, like I didn't know what it was going to be called. Well, you know what? With the way this game is, maybe it is a strike. 1-2. The wind and the pitch is right back up the middle. Are they going to hit second and head for third? Yes. It rolls into center. The center fielder comes up with it. The throw a little offline. And that'll put runners on first and third for San Francisco. It's been kind of a common thing for the Giants throughout this game. The wind and the pitch is rolled over. Second baseman comes up with a spin. Fires it to first in time. San Francisco puts one more run on the board. They now lead 5-3. 8 hits. Infante, Hester, and Scudero. As Houston has 3 runs on just 2 hits. Omar Infante. That is rolled foul. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 strike. 0-1. That is low and gets past the catcher all the way to the backstop. Makes it just a 1-1 count. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in for a strike. Here comes the 1-2. And that swung on and missed. So good start to the inning for the Giants. Looking to shut this Astros team down. John Hester. Winds and fires. Hester with a swing and a miss over the top of that. 0-1. The righty is ready. Winds and fires. That's outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. It is outside for a ball again. See what the righty wants to go with. How about a pitch in the zone? Is swung on and missed to make it 2-2. This is what you're looking for out of your pitcher. Just try to shut this lineup down. I might have said that a little bit early. There's only one out. Two and two. That just misses that outside corner. Maybe he misses a little bit more because we are a little off center. A full count. Payoff pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for out number 2. Way to bounce back. Threw some funky pitches there. We got a couple of strikes and able to get the out. Marco Scudero steps up to the plate. Nobody on with 2 gone. They'll take a pitch at the letters for a strike. 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. We will head to... We're going to the East Coast next. Yeah, we're staying pretty east. This is as far west as we're going, is Houston today. We're going to Baltimore for the White Sox and the Orioles next, and then the Tigers and the Red Sox will wrap us up. And we'll have to catch up on a lot of scores after that final game. Pitcher nods his head. Runner on first with 2 outs. That's on the edge. He gets called a strike. That's kind of why sometimes I get a little hesitant when it feels like it might be kind of obviously a ball. And that's a strike. Was it? Was it? Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one misses outside for a ball. 1-1. Tying run at the plate for the Astros. If I'm Houston, I don't think I put that runner in motion. I thought it was a mistake for San Francisco in the top of the first because they had been playing so well. Granted, they probably would have hit into a double play ball anyway, so it's not... That possibility kind of erases the fact that they got an out on a stolen base. Here comes the 1-2. That is lifted. Uh-oh. Did I jinx it? No, I did not. Okay. Whew. I was a little worried. Out by the scoreboard, the Crawford boxes. That will do it for the Astros. 5-3 as we head to the top of the third. Moreland, McLouth, and Ellis. The 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for the Giants. Mitch Moreland 1 for 1 with a 3-run home run. I said another RBI for a different player. I was incorrect. I thought I read home run when I probably just read run. Moreland takes a strike on the outside for an 0-1 count. A couple of multi-run home runs in this game. Moreland's was a big 3-run blast to help establish a 4-0 lead. Houston got 3 in the bottom of the first, but San Francisco scored 1 in the top of the second. The 1-1 pitch is ready. Here's the fire. Well, here's the pitch. I'm a little surprised that qualified as a miss on that outside corner. It's been so generous for a while now. I thought that would be a strike. 2-1. Here's the wind and tries to get that corner again. Still misses it, which is still surprising. That's basically the same. That play happened twice in a row. 3-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. Really, all three of those pitches were balls. I mean, that one was a ball. The thing is, it's just that side of the plate, the right-hand batter side, has been wide for weeks at this point. And it's interesting to see them go ball on all three of them. We see that sometimes in MLB The Show, like the current iterations, where it's like, oh, that... You figure one of them would go one way. Why did they put him in motion to steal? San Francisco does not need to be that aggressive. You're giving up a free out. Because the runners haven't even been close. The Giants too aggressive on the base paths, and that is... Oh, boy. It's just not what you want. I don't know why they're doing it. Houston didn't even put their runner on when they were down 2. They put their runner on in motion. Something went wrong with that sentence somewhere. Somewhere my brain went, here's the idea, and then the other part of my brain went, how do I execute it? And the first part went, I don't know. What are we supposed to do, help you? Here's the 3-1. It is low for a ball. Or a strike. What? Strike in the knees. I apologize. Jeez Louise. Now I don't even know what I'm looking at. Have I mentioned, be sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for hanging out. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is a ripped foul. Full count. Yet again. And lifts that one, but drives it. Foul. That's foul. Wind and the pitch is... That's going to be fair. Just inside the third baseline. He is going to head... Thought about the big turn for a second, but he'll head to first for a single. A ball that he hit so hard it broke the frames of the game. There was a part during MLB The Show 25 when I was playing that today where it actively froze. Like it was like, hold on, we have to load the error that we're about to give the San Diego Padres. Astros head to the bullpen. They'll bring in the righty Jason Hamill. 16 games with a 7-4 record, 1 save, 4.50 ERA, 36 innings, 10 walks, 23 strikeouts. Mark Ellis is 0 for 1, 218 this season. He has 3 home runs and a scary number of RBI, 13. One out. The righty misses low for a ball, 1-0. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball again, 2-0. This is not what you want out of your bullpen arm. Though you can see the thought process, try to get him to roll over something for the double play. Here's the 2-0, and that's what you'd like if you're San Francisco. They will just advance the lead runner to second. Double play still in order. It would have been in order regardless, but it sounded smart when I thought about it, though it wasn't smart at all. I like the aggression from the Giants batter there. 2-0 count. You probably got fastball in the back of your mind. Drive it to the opposite field. Put a runner in scoring position. And the righty fires in a strike. 0-1. The wind and the pitch. That's a big looping curve on the inside. The wind and the pitch is in at the knees for a strike. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is swung on and missed. Got him. He looked really early on that pitch. He looked like he was through the swing by the time the ball even got into the area. Chris D'Onofrio, 1 for 1. Can he drive in one more insurance run? 2 outs here in the top of the third. San Francisco leads 5-3. That's outside for a ball. Okay. The righty is ready. He'll wind and fire. That is in for a strike. One. That's a strike on the outside corner. Houston needs this reliever to come through to stay down only 2 going into the home half of the third. The righty sets and fires. That's way outside. Not even close to attempt to swing there. And that'll get hit weakly to the second baseman. He'll pick it up and fire to first in time. That'll retire the side. San Francisco gets their first 0 on the board. It'll remain 5-3. 10 hits. Fukudome, Holiday, Quinton coming up for the Astros. Looking to tie or win with a walk-off. Fukudome is 0 for 1. He's batting .383 this season, which is a good-looking number. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is swung on and missed. Real aggressive swing there from Fukudome. Oh, and 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's low for a ball. Righty readies and fires. Fukudome drives that foul. Foul ball. That ball is foul. Makes the count 1 and 2. That is rolled foul. So it will remain 1 and 2. Right-hander. Oh, he's going to take a strike. Fukudome set down. Ooh, do we get a... No, we don't get a super helpful replay. It's actually... Okay. I don't know how you think that's helpful game, but all right. Matt Holliday's 1 for 1 with a single in at RBI. He's batting .287 this season. Oops, that's not what I meant to look at. And that's outside for a ball. I guess since we're here. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is hit up the middle. That will get into center field for a single. Okay, there's the bloop. Does Houston have the blast? Carlos Quinton is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here the Giants are looking to roll that 2-ball, get the heck out of here with a win, and really rain on the parade of the Houston Astros. Wind In for a strike. We are getting close to the end of the season here. It is June 26th in game. There are only 7 days left? No, that's not right. 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. 27, 28, 29, 30. 8 days left? That's not right. That can't possibly be right. Is that right? Here's the wind of the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Is that what? I don't even know. We're at the point where I'm losing it. June 26th. Okay. There's like 8 days left. Okay. Boy, I've been trying to do the math on how much time is left in this season. That is foul. The reason that I point out that there is such a truncated amount of time left is Houston's 3.5 back going into today. They're 3.5 games back of a wild card spot. They can't be losing too much more ground. The benefit for Houston is a lot of the teams in front of them have been uneven for a little bit now, particularly the Marlins and the Rockies. And I don't know how much I would believe in, the Mets, who they won today. To second for 1, around the horn to first for 2. That'll do it. And before I could really even finish the thought process, the Houston Astros lose a game. So then, let's see. What if I look at this? Okay. Good to know. Good news. Player of the game is Mitch Moreland. He's 1 for 1 with a 3-run home run. Brandon Morrow improves to 5 and 7. Manuel Corpus falls to 3 and 4. Moreland's 7th, Butler's 8th home runs of the season. San Francisco gets out to a 4-0 lead in the first. They don't look back. They do give up 3 runs in that bottom half of the first, but I really did feel that one more run, or getting one of those runs back, was going to be the key to victory. And they never really ran into another problem. Okay. So, White Sox Orioles, as we head back east for our third game. Oh, Kyle Drabick. He has a 6.0 ERA. MLB 14. I hope it goes well. Seems like you have all of the MLB games installed all at once. Because once you start getting into, I guess PS3. I think some of the later PS3 games needed to be installed, but once you get to PS4 and PS5, you need hard drive space for that. Those are the only games, especially in the current console generation, those are the only games on your hard drive. Chicago was 38 and 35 in the hunt for a wild card spot. The Baltimore Orioles 36 and 38. They need teams in front of them to fall a lot more than the White Sox do. As we get ready for baseball here in Baltimore, my own personal hell. BJ Upton is the center fielder. He'll be leading off for the White Sox in this all-righty lineup, with the exception of switch hitter Jed Lowry. Maglio Ordonez is in right, Albert Pujols at first, Manny Ramirez in left, Ryan Rayburn is the DH, Scott Rowland at third, Yorvit Torrealba is the catcher. Second baseman Sean spells his name correctly, Rodriguez. Shortstop is Jed Lowry. Do I have all of the MLB games installed? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I switch out a lot of stuff on, especially on the current gen consoles that I use. I move them around quite a bit. Kyle Drabick is 6 and 7. 6-7. 6 inning or 6 ERA, 14 games, 33 innings, 41-9 and 24. I probably have more of them installed than I realize, but that's because I don't use my PS3 or PS4 very often. I actually do not like using the PS3 for streaming because it requires an extra piece of technology, and the connection into a PlayStation 3 controller is a proprietary piece of tech. The HDMI cable or the HDMI port is encrypted. It's so annoying. And it just doesn't work consistently. So I probably have more of them than I realized installed, but one of the for some reason I have two PlayStation 3s. One of them's like a 250 gig PlayStation 3 and the other one's a 120. It's you want to know what stupid life I lead, that's it. And then the PS4 just doesn't really have a lot of... Oh, the one I have I think has a terabyte in it. But the older one doesn't. I don't know. That's hit foul. But I have MLB The Show 25 installed on the PS5 and that's it. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. But I feel like I rarely go back to old show games unless I'm doing spring training, in which case I would play one game in every single MLB game. But even once you get to that current gen, it's like, I gotta install the whole thing. But I typically tend to go back to some of the odder, older baseball stuff, or just kind of other sports games. Like, good evening, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I'm doing pretty well. Mariners won their spring training game, so obviously that means they're going 162-0. No big deal. Maglio Ordonez steps in, following the strikeout. But yeah, I try to, when I go back to stuff, it's either like, especially with sports stuff, I try to play the oddball stuff that you probably forgot existed. 1-0. Or they are like straight like nostalgia plays of like, I remember playing this game as a kid. Such as ESPN and NFL 2K5. 2-0 from the righty to the righty. Boy, this White Sox lineup, not very versatile, huh? Every time we see them, they are the example of why I don't think this game cares about the starting pitching versus the Mets, who do change their lineup. The Mets or the Mariners or the Marlins. There's another team in there I can picture it. The Blue Jays. That's who it is. But the White Sox, their lineup is always right-handed. How can I play the old games on the PlayStation 5? PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible with PS4 games, with very, very minor exceptions, but other than that, unless it is specifically uploaded to buy, you can't. You'd have to have old technology. And we'll never see any of these, there'll never be any sports games. Anything with heavy licensing issues will never be. They just released Wally, PS2 Wally on PS5. It's like a $20 download, and I was like, I like Wally. But does it have trophies? I forgot to look at that. So let's look at that now. By going to PSN profiles, Showgunners has their trophy list up. Death Howl looked kind of interesting when I was taking a peek at it. BMX Streets. It's a bad list. Can I buy the video games on PC? Which like MLB The Show specifically? No. But if you use PCSX, whatever it is, you can emulate them. It depends on what you're looking for. GOG has like a preservation project that they're doing. It just depends on what you're looking for. But anything that's going to have heavy licensing is just not going to be there. That is a walk issued. Let's see. I'm going to guess that it's not here. What's interesting about Wally is that it's the Oh, they do have a trophy list for it. Okay, thank God. Ooh, 5 hearts under one roof. That's a FMV game if I've ever seen it. Star Trek Voyager. We'll look at all these achievement lists or trophy lists. God, I just opened up like 8 tabs. That is crushed. Manny Ramirez was a trade piece earlier this season, and he must have helped this White Sox team out. They got help via the Cleveland team just falling apart, but they've had to have been on their own good tear as this is lifted out towards center field. He takes a soft jaunt out of there, out to get the ball. Runner safe at third. Complete the season premiere. There's 7 episodes for Showgunners. Boy, I couldn't even finish the demo. I'm not smart like that. It's in for, I guess that's a ball. I wanted to look at the Wally trophies. Because Wally's on 360. Don't think the MLB The Show games are on PC. They are not. But somebody was in chat one day saying that they accessed them through cloud gaming, but now that they're not on Game Pass anymore, they're not accessible on cloud gaming. But I don't think they've never been on PC natively. Thank you, Walkoff. Two and one, runners on the corners. I'll check on the runner at first. Kind of a dangerous move considering that every once in a while, every so often, the ball just kind of gets away from the first baseman. Wind and the pitch is inside for a ball. Yeah. So going back to Wally, just real quick. Stick with me. I like what they do. PlayStation's been doing. They've been releasing classics on PS5 from their older generations. It's very cool. The Time Splitters trilogy is on there. There's a bunch of Disney games, which is shocking. What typically happens, especially with the Disney games, is it's usually the PSP version, but for whatever reason, Wally is now the PS2 version, which is interesting. One of my coworkers is a PC elitist, console scrub for life. Hey, I'm right there with you. You and me, console scrubs together. That is an out, so we will head to the bottom of the first. White Sox, the first away team today to not put the team they're visiting in a hole immediately. We'll get you introduced to the Baltimore lineup right after this. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, the DH, leads off, followed by Luis Castillo at second base, Evan Longoria at third. Rick Ankiel in left, Derek Lee at first, Corey Hart in right. Miguel Montero is the catcher, as Asdrubal Cabrera is the shortstop. Trevor Crow is the center fielder. Legacy of Kain PS1 game is on PS5. Like, what? We'll have the old stuff. Yeah, they've been doing a good job with it. Rick Porcello, 9-3 with a 3.32 ERA. 14 games, 38 innings pitched, 45, 8, and 20. They have all 4. Well, they have the original 4 Twisted Metal games, and I believe Twisted Metal Black is on there as well. But I think Twisted Metal Black was from a lot longer ago, because they started putting PS2 games on PS4, whereas the PS1 stuff is now with, like, PS5. It's weird. And I feel like they're reasonably priced as well, like $10 to $20 is perfectly fine for those. And a lot of them were included with premium. Oof, that was... Oh, man. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt did go down to get that ball, but probably should have just let it go for a ball. It is 1 out. They just announced a new Legacy of Kain game, I think. Is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, is that a game? Soul Reaver, hold on. Legacy. Okay. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. It is. Oh, okay. Oh, because it got remastered. That's why I'm thinking about it. Okay. Gotcha. Soul Reaver is the second game in the series. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Complete all challenges. Collect all artifacts. Win heavy traffic. Oh, cool. This Wally game might be kind of interesting to jump in and check out. There's 100 PS2 classics. Interesting. Rockstar and Disney have been two of the better, like, third-party supporters of the PS2 classics line. There's, like, Bully's on there. Wild Arms 3. I've downloaded so many of these games. Bully. I want to say some of the... Yeah, GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. The Jack games are in there. Legacy of Kain Defiance. Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2. Manhunt, Max Payne. Red Dead Revolver. Time Splitters. They haven't put as many up recently, but War of the Monsters. Why is Wild Arms 3 the final step in the puzzle? Where's War of the Monsters at? 2025. Oh, Twisted Metal Black is on that list. That is hit over towards left. That is gone. I was going to buy Spider-Man 2 this paycheck before, but it's the PlayStation Plus game of the month. Hey, there you go. I did see it was on sale digitally. Is, how many of the Spider-Man games are on PlayStation Plus? I know that that's... Well, here, we can look. We can look. Let's lock in here. Jorvit Torrealba. He'll step up with a 1-0 lead here as the leadoff man goes yard. It's 1-0 White Sox. That is hit to a diving first baseman. Let's see. Oh, I can't really tell because I bought it. Sean spells his name correctly, Rodriguez. Is it remastered on the store? That doesn't matter. That's in for a strike. All of them right now. Oh, cool. So that would mean that once they go on, they are probably there for... Not for good, but... Took them 2.5 years, I think, to put that on PlayStation Plus Premium, or Extra, or whatever. Which I guess isn't too bad. Jed Lowry, batting .317, home run, 4 RBI. That's in for a strike. I mean, that's a good deal by itself. Just to check those games out. I'd poke through some of those premium, or not premium, those PS2, PS1. Well, I guess the question would be is what level of the PlayStation Plus do you have? 0-2. 1 out, 1 on, 1-0 game, as that is, ooh, it's going to get away from the catcher. The double play is out of order. Runner heads to second. Orioles falling apart in their own stadium. One and two. Here's the wind of the pitch from the righty. It's lifted into left, but I have the most expensive level of PS Plus. Oh, nice. Do you ever use the game Trials? I love the game Trials and the retro stuff, because you can stream a bunch of the PS3 games, which is like a little inconvenient, but whatever. That's in for a strike on the outside. And then they have a bunch of the PS2 on PS4 and the PS1 stuff that you can download with your premium membership. Wind and the pitch, swung on and missed. Oh and 2. That's outside for a ball. And that's inside for a ball. Two and two, 2 outs. Top of the second, a 1-0 White Sox lead. Looking for a little insurance. It's fouled away. No trials. Too busy playing full games. Do trials. Oh, here's streams. Oh, okay. Vicariously do trials through your streams. Well, that is an out. So Chicago gets the leadoff solo home run. It'll be Ankiel, Lee, and Hart coming up for Baltimore, looking to respond in the bottom of the second. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in for a strike. It's that outside corner. And a good start to the bottom of the second. Chicago leads 1-0. They trail the Oakland Athletics by 1 game in a hunt for the wild card spot. Baltimore is back 3.5. That was a horrible slide. This is going to be a triple. He is going to hit second and head for third. He was nowhere near it. He dove at a bad angle. Everything about that dive was ill-advised. He did it anyway, and it leads to a triple when it probably could have been a single. Maybe should have been a single. Did they put any? I wonder if they put any new trials up. I haven't looked into it. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is swung on and missed. Looking to tie things up here in the home half of the second. That is swung on and missed. Collections. Where are the demos at? The righty winds and fires. That one stays upstairs for a ball. They never put the Flubbin replaced demo on PS5 and Xbox like they said they were going to. That is lifted. Foul territory. The left fielder takes a peek, but it's a row too deep. Take a look at another pitch, and that one is driven. First baseman makes the diving stop. Pitcher covers to get the out. We are tied at 1. Uh-oh. Neither of these teams have looked particularly strong offensively, like you believe that they are going to pull enough consistent offense to score another run anytime soon. I don't know, maybe Hart will prove me wrong. It's a nice job. Baltimore uses one out to get that run across. The dive out in center field comes back to bite Chicago pretty immediately, which I don't think is surprising to anyone considering how bad that dive was. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is fouled away. The righty gets him to foul it off. That ball was foul. 0-2. Good job by Baltimore to respond in the bottom of the second after Chicago hit the go-ahead solo shot to lead things off in the second. Hart down on strikes. Miguel Montero batting .264. He has 3 home runs with 9 runs. He's up next. 1-1. Wind and the pitch, and that, oh no, 1 pitch, 1 swing, and 1 out. As it goes into fair territory, into foul territory, back into fair territory. Ordonez, Pujols, and Ramirez coming up. They'll look to retake the lead in the top of the third, an inch closer to a playoff berth. 1 for 1 with a single is Ordonez. .267 average with 6 home runs this season. Here's the wind and the pitch. And Ordonez. Sounded like it was going to be kind of good. Oh my goodness. I have been waiting for that animation to bite the defenders. He's going for a triple. Ordonez to third. Safe. So we see that animation pretty frequently. It's this weird thing where the game doesn't seem to have a middle ground between walk and full-out run. And I have been waiting for the game to put someone into a jaunt and then they misjudge it or the ball carries, like the wind carries it. And it happened. It happened to Baltimore. In Baltimore. It makes the most sense. Baltimore bullshit in its fullest form. We have to play 4 games in this stupid stadium this year. Ugh. 0-1. Go ahead, runner on third. That is fouled away. Knowing this stadium, Chicago will lose the runner at third at home on a really weak hit. That'll be some Baltimore BS. Pujols takes a ball outside. One and 2. Pitcher is ready. He winds and fires. That is... They are going to say... Okay. Chicago. I applaud you because I was going to lose my mind. If you sent the runner home on that piece of contact... So Manny Ramirez with a runner in scoring position Oh, just foul. 0-1. That is on the edge for the strike. 0-2. Can Baltimore work some magic? So a couple of funky plays by some center fielders in these last 2 half innings. The bottom of the second and the top of the third. Here's the wind and the pitch. Really nowhere near the zone. Good take. Here's the pitch, outside for a ball. Two and two. That is lifted into center field. Is it deep enough? Center fielder grabs it. The runner is off from third. It will be safe at the plate. He threw it to second base just for fun. So nice job by Ramirez to drive in Ordonez. I don't remember who was where. And the Orioles will go to their bullpen. Ryan Perry. 5 games with a 1-1 record. No saves with a 5.40 ERA. 5 innings pitched, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Baltimore is in the middle of a 3-city 10-game road trip that only needs 3 flights in early June. Oh, interesting. That's outside. One ando. The righty winds and fires. That's going to be to the third baseman. He spins and fires to first in time. So the bad center field play evens out for both teams. Chicago regains their 1-run lead. Cabrera, Crow, and Jay coming up. The weekend series after Baltimore is at DC. Oh. Here's the wind and the pitch that is swung on and missed. Oh and 1. Here comes the wind and the pitch. It is swung on and missed. Oh and 2. That's outside for a ball. Chicago 2, Baltimore 1 here in the bottom of the third. That's fouled away. Here comes the 1-2. And it's fouled away. When the A's were still in Oakland, every time they played the Giants, players would just drive to the other stadium. 1-2. That's fouled away. That road trip, the Detroit goes Detroit, Baltimore, Washington before coming back to Seattle to face Baltimore. Yeah, we get a bunch of Baltimore. Oh, God. I don't even want to think about it. It's horrifying. Horrifying. That's fouled away. Ooh, they're going to call Cabrera out on strikes on that pitch on the outside edge. Okay, it's right on the edge. I mean, we saw one of the We saw the Padres challenge a pitch that was, I mean, just clipped the zone. Trevor Crowe batting .280. I mean, it ever so slightly clipped it. You wonder if it's kind of interesting, like if say the Padres and the Mariners did the spring training game today. If the Padres maybe missed that call by that much, do they call the second challenge on the Raleigh strikeout, or what they call the 1-2 that turned into a strikeout? Baltimore will be bad this year. Their starting pitching is going to be quite bad. Oh, I don't care about Baltimore in real life. I care about Baltimore when they're making me miserable. This is a selfish thing. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they do this year. Because it's weird, because Baltimore was supposed to be like the team going into last season, but then just things did not work out. And their pitching staff didn't get better. Like, they brought in Pete Alonso. It's like, well, is that going to cover the extra runs that the pitching staff gives up? One and two. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. And he fell off hard. Yeah. He's not very old, is he? Like, he would still have time to adjust, get back to where people... I guess that's not fair to put that on him. Oops. Oh, that's it. That's the end of the game. My bad. That was anticlimactic. That was poorly called on my part. It was a 2-strike. They were down to their final strike, and it's John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt striking out to end the game. Chicago comes out with that 2-1 victory. The center field play was weird, but at least it was weird on both sides. And Scott Rowland's your player of the game. 1 for 1. He had the solo shot. Rick Porcello gets the win to improve to 10-3. Kyle Drabick falls to 6-8. It's Rowland's 5th of the season. And we are through 3 of our games so far. Rick Ankiel was 1 for 1 with a triple. That was the only hit that they had. The other one was on the ground out. Or the run was scored on the ground out. Adley Rushman he's 28. Okay. He's a little older than I realized. All right. Well, let's hop into our 4th game. It was after we update you that the Phillies beat the Cardinals 2-0. Tigers, Red Sox. Yeah, we had, 4 of the first 6 games. So this will be our 4th and final game of the day. We didn't get the updated stats. We get the updated wild card stats is what I mean by that. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Giving the video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel. Free, easy ways to help out the channel. You know what people love? Things that are free, things that are easy. Bing, bang, boom. Welcome to Boston. We have one more game for you today. Detroit is 35-39. The Red Sox are 37-37. Both these teams on the outside looking in. Boston needs some help. They didn't really get it from the White Sox. We'll see how things shake out for the rest of the game, or for the rest of the day. We'll take a look at a couple of standing spots just to be updated. This Detroit Tigers lineup is a nightmare, so it must be a righty for the Red Sox. Rafael Furcal is the shortstop. He's a switch hitter. Then it's this big lefty lane. Ike Davis at first. Joe Mauer at catcher. Pedro Alvarez at third. Raul Ibanez in left. Adam Jones, one brief respite. The righty is in center field. Then it's right back to a lefty in Will Venable in right. And a switch hitter, Orlando Hudson at second. And then you get one extra righty, Matt Diaz, the DH. They ran out of lefty and switch hitters So they said, I guess you get a righty in the DH spot. Starter for Baltimore. Nope. It's Chen Ming Wang. 3-9 with a 7.68 ERA, 14 games, 36.1 innings pitched, 48, 16, and 22. It's also the Boston Red Sox. I had the wrong B in my head. Going from Baltimore to Boston. So Furcal will lead things off. Not the pitcher you want on the mound if you're the Boston Red Sox, considering how high that ERA is and a 3-9 record. But we'll see if they can survive it. First pitch is in for a strike. We're underway. Fourth and final game. We'll catch up on scores. We'll take a look at some standings. There's only a couple of races that are interesting. AL Central, AL Central, AL West, NL West, and then both wild cards. A lot of the other divisions feel like they're pretty well decided. I'm curious to see when teams start getting, if they get E's next to their name or whatever. Surely there's some teams. San Francisco is a team that's eliminated. I'm sorry to say it. Two and one. Here's the righty. He winds and ooh, wow. He went out and tried to get that pitch. Red Sox, speaking of adventures in center field. Oh, it's not who I thought it was. Christian Liu has been the center fielder for the Red Sox throughout the season, and he's had some adventures out there. We've seen him not play particularly well, especially at home, which granted isn't his home traditionally, but like the game doesn't know that. It just knows his ratings or whatever. But here's the wind and the pitch. So I'm wondering, because I think Christian Liu is a left-handed hitter, so it might be a lefty on the mound for the Tigers. But we'll find out when we get there. 0-1 with one gone. That is hit foul. Here's the wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. One and two. That is rolled to the third baseman. He scoops it and fires across the diamond in time to first. And that is two gone. Okay. So this pitcher kind of giving me the middle finger. I get it. I'm just a commentator. 15 years later. Poo-pooing a guy. Working his butt off, okay? So Joe Mauer steps up, cover athlete himself. Minnesota Twin guy. And that is inside for a ball. One and 0. 41 winds and fires. That's hit strong up the first base line with foul. This Tigers lineup might benefit more than you realize with that big chunk of lefties. They could pull one just down that short little right field pole. Back-to-back cover athlete. I forget that. 10 and 11? Yeah, because 12 is a weird one. 12 is a Red Sox, I think. But it's not like notable. Adrian Gonzalez, I want to say. That is a weird one. Let's see. MLB 12. Show. Ooh, they called Bauer out on strikes. And that will do it. Where was that pitch located? He winds. He's ready. Oh, I gotta. Oh god, I'm doing two things at once and it's bad. Okay, it was like right over the middle. I don't know what you were doing, Bauer. Jeremy Hermida. Hermida? He is the center fielder that we were talking about. He will lead things off for the Red Sox, a lefty. So doesn't matter. I forgot that maybe another guy could be a left-handed hitter. Justin Smokes at first. He's a switch hitter. Jason Hayward in right. Carlos Lee is in left. Adrian Beltre at third. Johnny Peralta the DH. Blake DeWitt at second. Benji Molina is the catcher. Jason Bartlett is... Please don't reload the page. Jason Bartlett is at shortstop. Adrian Gonzalez, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Ian Kennedy, 6-8 with an 8.02 ERA. 14 games, 33.2 innings pitched. He's given up 61 hits, walked 14 batters, and struck out 22. We have kind of the bad batter, or the bad ERA bros today. I forget exactly what the other guy's ERA was, but this one at 8.02. Whoo, boy. Here, let's go. We'll find out. Oops, don't do that. That's the wrong way. Wait, there it was. 768. So a 768 and an 802. And this guy has zeros across the board. Okay. Interesting start for Boston as that is driven out towards right field. It needs to curve the other way. Oh, we found the deepest part of that corner. That is unfortunate for him. You see it. Just watching it like curve like in toward the hitter. So he needed to slice out. Justin Smoke is the next one up. That is in for a strike. And then they had Jose Bautista. Jose Bautista was the Canadian cover. That is low for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is foul away. Foul ball. The wind and the pitch is looped out to the left, but the left fielder is there to make the grab. 2 away. I don't know why I thought MLB The Show... I mean, I don't love it. Would MLB The Show 12 be the worst cover? Ooh. It's close. Honestly, I'd throw... This is going to sound like hater talk. Oof, that is... Okay, third baseman. That is... that is ripped into left field for a single. I'd kind of throw the... I'd throw the Judge cover in as really bad for the show 18. It's supposed to be like... It feels like it's supposed to be like dark and brooding, but it's just ugly. The Judge cover for 26 is way better. And the weird thing is that's the only cover that looks like 18 does. The Bryce Harper one's kind of similar, but he's lit better, so you can actually see who it is. Maybe that's the problem. Anywho, one hit, but they can't do anything with it. Alvarez, Ibanez, and Jones coming up. No scores. We head to the top of the second. Detroit and Boston here in our fourth and final game of the day. It's batting .259 on the season. The righty is ready. Steps and fires towards the plate. It's hit. Out to center. The catch is made, and it's 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Raul Ibanez batting .307. 3 home runs, 15 RBI. He'll be up next as this righty is looking pretty good against this little lefty lane. It's a switch hitter in the leadoff spot, but 2, 3, 4, 5 are all lefties. Ibanez gets a strike, called him at the letters. I don't think he went around. I think that's a strike. We don't get the benefit of that around animation in this game. The righty is ready. He'll line and fire, and that is fouled away. That is fouled away as well. That ball's foul. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one stays way upstairs. Good job by Ibanez to just take a look at it, not do anything with it. This pitcher takes like just a little longer than I'm anticipating for him to stand there and then do like his extra wind. Come on, man. Two and two. There were a couple pitchers during that Padres-Mariners game that had some movement before they came set and delivered the pitch. It was interesting to watch. That's outside for a ball. 3 and 2. And that is low for a ball. So nice job by Ibanez there to work the walk and put himself on first. Detroit still no hits. Well, they do have their first base runner, Adam Jones. .355 average, 1 home run, 8 RBI, and 4 stolen bases. The first righty that the righty has looked at all day, and that's pulled just foul. Oh and 1. And that's in for a strike. It's that low inside quarter. 0 and 2 quickly here to Adam Jones. Likely looking for the low pitch to roll over. Try and get that double play ball going. Here's the 0-2. Misses way low. Good job by Jones to take that pitch. Saw me get fooled a couple of times today playing MLB The Show 25. Brutal strikeout with Julio Rodriguez. Jones goes and chases the high fastball. That's strike 3, and that is out number 2. Actually looked a little higher from our angle. I thought that was more above the letters than it actually ended up being. It's a good pitch. Jones just couldn't get to it. It was 95, a perfect swing timing. Interesting. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So with 2 outs, it's back to a lefty at the plate. That's a strike on the outside edge, 0 and 1. That is low for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. That is sliced. Foul. Way up there. It hit the huge noise sign. 1-2. The wind and the pitch is inside and swung on and missed. Everything happened on that one. Swung on and missed on a pitch on the inside. That's what we're trying to get to. Adrian Beltre is going to lead things off for the Red Sox. 231 average. We're looking for anything here. Any sort of offense. Boston has a hit. Detroit's worked a walk. And both of these pitchers have a 7.5 ERA or above. 7.68 versus like 8.02. And both these teams just like, what are we supposed to do? Hit the ball? What do you want out of us? Two and two. Okay, thank you. Adrian Beltre, thank you. I appreciate you listening to my critiques, taking that to heart, and giving us a hit. Second hit of the day for the Boston Red Sox. Johnny Peralta, he's batting 200, 1 home run, 3 RBI. Hey, Peralta, big old swing. He wanted all of that ball. Didn't get any of it as he swung through it. 0-1. Let's go. 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is mercifully for us driven foul because that is too likely to be a double play. The 0-2 is missed low for a ball. One and two. Nobody out. The wind and the pitch is high for a ball. Okay. Wasn't exactly sure where that was going to get to, but stayed upstairs. Makes it a 2-2 count. A runner on first with nobody out. The righty, got bailed out there. That was likely going to be ball 3. But with some of the ways that the balls get called, or the balls and strikes get called on those edges, can be a little confusing. So not as bad a swing as you might think. Or I might lead you to believe. I was just a little surprised. He got it off the end of the bat and drove it foul. Next pitch is a ball. That makes it 3-2. The wind and the pitch, and a nice job to get to it and drive it foul. Foul ball way up there. Here comes the pitch, and it is into right field. Beltre will advance to second. I'll throw into third, though. That was one of those weird hits where both the first and second baseman, as we see the replay, they both just went the opposite. Nope. Nobody's getting to that. So it puts the go-ahead run in scoring position for Blake DeWitt, batting .242. Couple of home runs, 14 RBIs. He has 2 7-run home runs on the season. And the lefty will look to drive in. Adrian Beltre at second. That pitch way outside. Ball 1. One and 0. The wind and the pitch is in for a strike. 1-1. Pitcher comes set. The wind and the pitch is lifted out towards right field. Into the glove for an out. We saw it one time. We saw it in the Baltimore game. Now, is it going to get over his glove? It did not. But it at least advances the runner. Benji Molina, the catcher batting .272, steps in. Go ahead, run 90 feet away. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Runners on the corners. The only thing Boston cannot have right now is a double play. I'm pretty sure I just spoke it into existence, but that's all right. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. Oh, driven foul. He is going to want that pitch back. He was right on it, but he had it. Just the timing off a little bit. 2-1. That's fouled away.
That's a foul ball.
2-2. And he'll slice that one. Foul. Here comes the pitch. Oh, it's strike 3 called. He fouled off a couple tough pitches and it just got a little too passive. Jason Bartlett leads the AL in hitting at .427. They need that to come through here. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. The righty is ready. He winds, fires. That's in for a strike. I think he's going to want that pitch back. I wouldn't be surprised if that's maybe the best one that he sees all at bat. The righty is ready. Winds and fires, and that is rolled. They're not going to get the run. They're able to get a runner to third with less than 2 outs. A brutal strikeout. And they kind of needed that swing 1 at bat ago. Boston has 3 hits. No runs. Detroit coming to the plate next. They've only had 1 base runner. It was via a walk. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. The righty winds and fires. Ooh, in for a strike. The 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled foul. One and 2. Man, I guess you can understand why Detroit is just not a great team. Like, they're not doing anything. They've worked 1 walk, and that is it. Which I guess technically is something, so they have done something, which means that it would be impossible for them to not do anything. All right, good job, Sean. And that's skied into foul territory, third base side. The catch is made, and that is 1 away. Matt Diaz has a .308 average, a couple of home runs, 12 RBI. Diaz? Okay. That caught me off guard. Not Diaz. Oh my God. Okay, well, I guess shut up me, huh? Matt Diaz said, pronounce my name wrong and complain about our team not doing anything. I'll show you. Like, okay. Matt Diaz, I apologize. He got all of that one. Detroit leads 1-0 as he goes over the Green Monster. 368 majestic feet. Rafael Furcal steps up. Going to do a little more damage here for the Tigers in the top of the third. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's low and outside for a ball. 1-0. That is in for a strike. Here's the wind and the pitch. That is a ball. Outside for a ball. Two and one. Here's the wind. Low. 3-1. One out here in the top of the third. Detroit finally puts a run on the board. It is their first hit of the game, by the way. It's a monster shot over the Green Monster. Makes it 3-2. That was a 3-1 strike that the batter just took. We don't see that very often. There's the line to the pitch. It is rolled foul. Up the third base line. Oh my goodness. Back-to-back monster shots. He went opposite field. Ike Davis on a 3-2, a full count pitch. Oh my goodness. Where's this Detroit offense been? I guess I should have been talking crap earlier. Just absolutely poo-pooing them. That's rolled foul. 0-1. The righty readies. He'll wind and fire. That is driven. Foul ball. 0-2. As the righty winds and fires. Oh my goodness. He went and got that even though he shouldn't have. We saw John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt do that in the last game. Go down and get a pitch that should have probably been a ball. And that one stays upstairs for a ball. So the second time through the order proving difficult. Well, was that? No, because the guy that had the home run, it was, I believe it's going to be his third of the season. That one's in the dirt. He was, I believe he was the 9-hole hitter. No, he would have been 8. Well, no, because it would have been, was there an out? Yeah. That's fouled away. We can look. What was the sequence of events here? Oh, it was an out in foul territory. Okay, that's what I thought it was, but for some reason I was confused. So it was an out in foul territory. So it would have made it the 9-hole hitter. Okay, that makes sense. We checked. We figured it out. We got there. Thank God I stream all of this instead of just recording it offline. Otherwise, I would have never known the answer. But when I stream, I can look at the YouTube feed and go, okay, I can rewind and put things together. 3-2 yet again. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is foul. Second batter in a row that's been able to work it to a full count. Here's another payoff pitch on the way from 41. That is rolled to the second baseman. Scoops it cleanly, fires to first in time for the out. He's out. It's like, it's a routine play, sir. It's a routine. You're out of here. Okay. Joe Mauer is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Detroit has 2 hits in the game, both of them solo home runs. The pitch is driven foul. Foul ball by Mauer. Now it's an 0-1 count. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's low for a ball. 1-1. Two gone here in the top of the third. Detroit has knocked in 2, both via solo home runs. Mauer misses that one. Makes the count 1-2. Boston had a runner on third with less than 2 outs, not able to get him across. That is going to be driven. Oh, I thought it was going to get to right field. No, the second baseman throws it on a hop to the first baseman. Nice play. That's a nice defensive play. We don't get those very often. We get a lot of bad dives. We get a lot of bobbles. It'll be at the top of the lineup. Hermida? Jeremy. Hermida? Okay. Then it's the Mariner. It sounds like I'm calling it, like giving him a nickname. Shout out to the password. What a great nickname. Rocks. Pulled a couple of his cards today, I think. That is hit out to center field. Does it have enough? No. Can't get it away from the center field defender. And not enough to get it out of the yard. 1 down. Adam Jones out there patrolling. Justin Smoke is the Mariner, whose name I could not remember. 0 for 1 today. That drifts inside for a strike. Kind of a pitch so bad it ended up being good. 0-1 to Smoke, who is 0 for 1. 1 gone. That is driven foul. Oh, 0-2. Shout out to the perfectly good piece of pizza. He's going to get thrown out of the ball game. That's what you get for ruining a perfectly good piece of pizza. Just hucked it at some dude who got in the way. Oh, man, that's great. 1-2. Whoa, that one's upstairs. Smoke. Doesn't even flinch. We don't even get the delayed flinch. He just was like, yeah, okay. 2-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled. That's going to stay fair. He'll just tag him on the base paths. Jason Hayward, he's the last hope for the Boston Red Sox in this one. Which is not good, because if Boston and Baltimore could take some pretty big shots to their hope of making the playoffs. The pitch just misses outside. Looked like it was going to be a strike to me, and especially with how that outside's been called. Boston gets a break, 1-0. The righty is ready. He'll wind and fire. It's inside for a ball. 2-0. Just a nice patient at bat. You're a bloop and a blast away. You got to put a runner on here. I mean, you'll take the solo home run, I guess, but... Wind and the pitch. Hayward takes upstairs for a ball. In this situation, it has to be 3-0, hands off the controller. It has to be. You can't swing at this. And he does it. Works a 4-pitch walk. Nice job. Carlos Lee is 0 for 1, batting .241 this season. He has 5 home runs. He is now the last chance for the Red Sox. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's upstairs. 5 straight balls. He has to take a strike before he swings. It either needs to be like a perfectly on the platter pitch, or he has to take it. Like, it's 5 straight balls. Oh my goodness. That should do it. Center field awaits. And that is it. I thought maybe he's going to want that pitch back. He got under it a little bit. It was in a pretty good location. But Boston falls 2-0. Detroit picks up 2 solo home runs over the monster in the top of the third to really put a damper on the hopes and dreams of Boston Red Sox fans hoping to make a late season push for the postseason. Ian Kennedy. He pitched 3 innings. He had 3 hits. He gave up 3 hits, had 1 strikeout. He is your player of the game. He picks up his 7th win of the season. Chen Ming Wang falls to 3-10. For Call's second, Diaz's third. Just like I predicted. 2-0 your score here. For Call was 1 for 2 with a solo shot. Jason Hayward 1 for 1 with a walk. Pardon me. Okay, let's get caught up on some scores. We have to do the rest of the games. There's like 15 games, so there's 9 scores we have to catch up on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 8 days remain. I think the problem was I kept giving June 31 days, like an idiot. We watched Tigers over the Red Sox 2-0. The Rays beat the Athletics 3-2. The Diamondbacks over the Braves 6-4. The Marlins beat the Rockies 2-0. Uh-oh, Rockies. You have been in control of the NL West all season long, and now it is just falling apart. Diamondbacks with a full 2-game lead in the NL West. Reds over the Nationals 2-0. Blue Jays over the Twins 4-1. Angels over the Guardians 4-0. We are seeing hopes and dreams just crushed today. Brewers over the Dodgers 1-0. Padres over the Pirates 2-0. And the Rangers over the Mariners. The Mariners over the Rangers 1-0. All right, let's take a quick peek at the standings. Get ourselves caught up here. In the American League East, it's done. It's done. Royals lead the White Sox by 3 games. Royals not out of the woods yet, but they look good. 8 games left. Mariners have a 4-game lead with 8 games left. In the wild card, White Sox and the Athletics, they are tied at 39 and 35. Red Sox really needed a win today to get back on board to try and make a push for the postseason. But they're back. They're 2.5 games back. There are 8 games left. Guardians, Orioles, Tigers, I think you'd cut it there. I think even including those last three teams that I mentioned is kind of a stretch. And the Red Sox, do we get fresh series tomorrow? Is that... No, it looks like... Okay, so the Red Sox would like really need to pick up a victory against the Tigers. Okay, that's what I was curious about. Okay, back to the standings in the National League. Phillies, they are a lock. Weird. 3 teams at 39 and 35. And the Mets are only a game and a half. Oh, they're 3.5 games back. Never mind. Moving on. Pirates, they're up 5.5, excuse me, on the Astros with 8 games done. Diamondbacks have made an incredible swing here in the late stages. The Rockies have fallen apart. The Diamondbacks lead by 2 over the Rockies, 3 over the Padres. That could be interesting. This is where you really wish that there were more of the divisional matchups late in the season, because then that could be fun, but they have to kind of just scoreboard watch and play other teams. In the wild card, here we go. Rockies, they hold by half a game over the Marlins. The Braves, the Mets, a game over the Padres, 2 over the Astros, and that's where the line gets cut. Hopefully it's a fun finish for these National League wildcard teams. Hopefully maybe some of them play each other. There are 3 East teams. The Rockies are in the West. 3 East and 2 West teams. Astros are in the Central. So the Mets on a 9-game win streak, by the way. Did not realize that. Winners of 9 in a row. The Braves, L7. They were 39 and 28. Oh my goodness. We just see such big swings sometimes. It is wild. Let's head to Save Slot 8. And we will get you on out of here. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I did a lot of streaming today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Watched along with that Mariners, Padres spring training game. Ripped a bunch of packs. Had a good time doing it. And I hope you had a good time watching it. I'll be back for Sunday with more baseball. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe. Ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. And then give the video a thumbs up if you had a good time and you enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody. I'm waiting for it to save so that I have it on footage. Save complete. Good night everybody. Thanks for watching.